previous match, especially now with the Husker and the Necrophos would have done a lot of work. But now seeing the Jakiro, Nixus as a Necrophos and Husker, a pretty unconventional lineup to be honest. Husker, you barely ever see it in competitive gaming at all. Necrophos is kind of a niche pick. Nix Assassin as well, and not bad, and I don't even need to say more. I mean, the only standard pick coming from the Wheelers team is pretty much the Jakiro with in the hands of Derp. The Menopause side is a little bit more standard, a lot of control with the Vengeful Spirit and the Ogre Magi, solid AoE damage over time with the Venomancer and some lane control as well, and last but not least, a good solid frontliner in the side of the Wraith King. So, with that out of the way, shall we go for the lineups in here, Kaiser?
Yeah, of course. I'm just gonna ask you a favor before we start, my dear Rapture. If you could keep an eye in the Hitbox chat, if anything happens there. Also,
Yeah, sure.
greetings, warm welcome and psychological hug for everyone just watching us there. Okay, let's go quick because we may be seeing a quick encounter here. Because the guys from Mob, I'm just gonna shorten.
Menopauses.
Menopauses.
It's like menopause. You know what a menopause is?
Of course.
That's kind of the.
Oh, careful.
There.
Yeah, yes, a stun on the Huskar. First was the Ogre Magi, then followed by Vengeful Spirit, and we have the first blood there. Huskar falling by the hands of the Ogre Magi before we could even start seeing the wave of creeps. There you had it. Team Will was a little bit separated here, and meanwhile Man of Pause just benefit from it. I don't know. Now that you pointed that out, I feel we're saying menopause. So
Hey, you know what? There is a Chinese female team called PMS.
All right.
So don't worry, man. It's not the worst thing ever. I mean, hell, I think it is from Argentina. I think that the perfect is shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, come on. Come on, man.
No, I don't want to be rude with any fans in Hitbox, so yeah, I will try to say man of pauses. But if it sounds like menopause, I'm not doing it on
No,
purpose.
that's the point. They actually did that on purpose.
All
that's
right.
that's the joke.
Oh,
Kind of.
perfect. All right.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm just a little
exactly.
slow tonight. So, anyways, let's get through the guys. Oh, careful in middle because there's a stun from the Raking now. Very well synchronized for Ogre Magi, and they're going after the second kill, but they're now backing up because the tower just started hitting them. So, Wills, let's take a look at Wills with Yakiro. It's gonna be Darp, Abaddon with I'm a Ship, Necrophos being controlled by Relic, Huskar by Slazel, and finally Nyx Assassin with Fans of Sawyer. Or something like that. Soyan. Sorry, my bad. What about what can we say about Map?
Menopauses with we're gonna have a scapegoat on the Weaver. Try to do some harassment to Derp. I don't know if that's a smart choice. I mean, with the Sakuchi, he should be just
Oh,
fine.
careful! And there in middle, we got another kill. There arrived the Venomancer for a gank there. Yeah, it was pretty tough. Because
JJ almost dies on that. And speaking of something on menopauses, is like they're actually going with an ogre mid, or at least it feels like it because he's all the time on that lane. So, speaking of the two-headed magi, we got JJ with the ogre magi, as well as Hora with Venomancer. They're going in the middle, which should be, I mean, what it seems to be his main role. On top lane, we have Lokarn with the Wraith King and Sleeping Joy with the Vengeful Spirit, dealing with Maship, pretty much. And let's see a little bit about. I saw something that piqued my interest, but I cannot find it anymore.
yeah, correct.
Oh no.
So we have already like a little bit of a distribution here. Sorry, my bad. So in top lane we're gonna see. Oh, and there's a kill there. Very well played from the Abaddon. He just happened to shield there, and he just got the kill, getting Sleeping Joy now, the Vengeful Spirit, and it goes 2-1. Mob going in top. So what can we? Well, we passed. What can we tell from the builds from the lane so far? As far as progressing?
Yeah, the lane, pretty much the lane distribution, we could say. Abaddon is a surprisingly good off lane. You usually are. I mean, since Abaddon, you usually on competitive level you're gonna play him as a support pretty much. As an off lane support, which is kind of a weird nomenclature to say because usually off lanes are horrible as a support. I mean, all supports are horrible as off laners. I'm sorry. He's actually dealing pretty well, especially with that aphotic shield, which he used to dive a little bit, and then the tower triggered that last stick and actually managed to get the kill on the Vengeful Spirit. He's gonna do relatively fine as long as he keeps having mana, and of course, he keeps the Wraith King under check. I mean, it doesn't allow him to be, fully aggressive. On the side of a middle relic with a Necrophos mid is pretty standard actually. Well, pretty standard when you pick a Necrophos to get him mid because he gets a lot of right clicks. The problem has been that the guy is pretty exposed as a middle lane, and you have noticed this with the two rotations coming from the Ogre Magi into the middle lane.
Indeed.
Because he doesn't have any escape mechanism, and he doesn't have anything to actually dissuade the aggression. I mean, if you're gonna jump a Necrophos, it's like, okay, I'll just gonna go and jump it, and the Necrophos has little to nothing to do in order to avoid that, except of maybe a spam death balls here and there. But outside of that, that's pretty much all he can do. Later on, and the reason you keep him mid is because you need him to get experience and gold real fast. So you kind of need to keep him in there. If you put him in any different lane, he's gonna do even worse. But that's the situation. I mean, as long as Relic plays safe and just
send him back out of danger, maybe.
Yeah, playing defensively pretty much and having good intel, he should be doing nice. But again, you're dealing with an Ogre Magi in middle, which it's going to be really tough, especially because you're not used to see an Ogre Magi in middle.
Careful in top, cause sorry to interrupt. Yeah, because now it's Raking who got trapped by Jakiro in his frozen pad, and there was the Venomancer with a haste rune trying to get the kill on the Abaddon, but he wasn't. The guys from Menopause weren't just lucky enough for that. Now it's pretty curious, and as you pointed out, having an Abaddon in the off lane, he won't surely go, or we can try and guess he won't surely go support as an off laner. So it will be maybe Nyx and Jakiro in this situation, having an Abaddon maybe as a hard carry, soft hard carry.
No. I mean, he's going to play as a support, but usually you don't. I'm gonna try to explain this a little bit better. Usually, I mean, in the team fights, he's a support. He is only focused to keep people alive, right?
Correct.
But usually, heroes of that nature are horrible for offlane because they keep getting killed themselves, right? So that's the reason why you don't play him as. I mean, Abaddon is one of those weird things that you can play as a support as well as an offlaner. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, all right. Yeah, because he can do just pretty well because he have the shield
yes,
and all
exactly.
that by himself.
Which is a weird thing to say about a support. That's my point. Usually a support would have a hard time taking care of himself.
Of course.
Or staying alive, pretty much.
Staying alive.
Exactly. You know what's up.
Well, he already got a kill, so props to him. I think we're gonna see a pretty interesting Abaddon in this game. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, the guys from Wills, they already had a ward there, a sentry ward, to just keep an eye on the Weaver, annoying Weaver. But she's gonna have a hard time there against a Husker who got already the Burning Spear, so he will surely be spamming that on the poor little Weaver.
Yeah, he's gonna trade a lot with him with the Burning Spear, and Weaver doesn't have that much of a hit point pool anyway to begin with, so he needs to be really careful because that sentry probably is gonna kill him if he's not careful enough. I mean, it's actually a really hard day for him, to be honest. I mean, overall, just as a hero lineup, because I mean, right now these two guys are just playing passive. I mean, that Nyx is just playing really passive. I mean, the Husker is harassing him here and there, but it's just one burning spear, and
Yep.
I mean the Weir's already having a hard time. Now we see
Careful.
Hora trying to set up something for Relic. Really just working the jungle. Actually, that's a pretty smart thing to do for Relic, because I mean he's pushing the lane, so you don't really want to cross the river as a Necrophos, because if you do, you're pretty exposed to get killed. And now actually they're going to engage the Relic anyway, even in the jungle. So he's like hating life at this moment because there's nothing he can really do about this. Really, he can't.
And that's like the main problem you just pointed out, that Necrophos doesn't have like a even armor. Still, well, he got death pulse, but still he was like too squishy, you know, too squishy, too soft for that. Never mind.
Well,
He has become lately a very hard carry since he has his hard stopper aura and ultimate. So just don't discard that. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Maybe
I mean, he's not a squishy per se because he has like 700 hit points
Yeah, careful
just
top.
by steps alone, but he doesn't have any way to actually get out of the way. You know, he doesn't have any blink. He doesn't have anything to run.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Well-
the problem. I mean, it's in top.
Yeah, careful talking. There's a lot of harassment from the Ogre Mage who try to look for who get that kill on Jakiro, on Jackie.
Yeah.
And now Raid going down. Chaos Abaddon just got him. Now this next scene 1-for-1, and it's gonna be Ogre Mage against Abaddon 1-on-1.
Oh,
He just uses his whole ring and he's gonna try to get the kill. Let's see if it's that enough. Now Venommancer gets to save the day, and his ultimate
that's
just
bad.
pops up. I was very lucky, and he is gonna try to get him, and he just suicided. That's a very quick thinking from the Abaddon. Props to him, and also to the Venommancer who came to the rescue and just gave that exit for the Ogre Mage not to die. In the
Oh, there comes Relic. He is looking for Hora. He is just waiting for him to just get back. Should be a right click, a Death Pulse, and a Reaper's Sight just to get the kill. But he's not really committing really hard for
There he
it.
goes.
There goes. And there goes the Reaper's Sight, and bye-bye. Pretty much.
I think he was trying to return the favor here in
Yeah.
his camp. Oh, he was like, oh, okay, now you did it to me, now I'm gonna do it to you.
Yeah,
Most surely.
pretty much. And he also kind of needs this because he needs to catch up. He needs to get the gold again.
Oh,
and
so-
actually in bottom,
Yeah, careful, because the Nyx Assassin being now this is very hard combo to try to survive with, even with your spy cabarets. Those are 3 hearts, so not only 1, not 2, but 3, because it's Vengeful Spirit. There's the Ogre Mage and the Raid King. So good luck there if you try to survive against those 3 stunners.
and there goes the swap in the middle.
Yup, there we had a swap there. The Vengeful Spirit trying to bring Abaddon to his allies, but so far no kill there. There goes a stun on the Weaver with the little hit points. Is the Necrophos who takes the kill. And now the guys from Menopause try to run back. Just some wards there. Try to push a little bit. But now it's 4 against 3. Now it's 2, because now I think Ray can just flag top. So Wills try to get their second tier 1 tower. This time is gonna be in middle, because since the top one from Monopause already fallen, and we have 2 TPs there. We were going to battle. There's a nice path there from the Jackie try to give the exit enough for Abaddon. He has 10 seconds cooldown, and maybe he's gonna fall to the Weavers.
Oh, that was
Was
close.
close, man. But Necrophos falling, getting the kill on Vengeful Spirit and Jakiro. Oh, careful there, because he just got a double kill, and he has 150 hit points. We were trying to get the kill, but he has to flee back, and he
yep,
died
yep,
there
yep.
with the hard stopper. We got a triple kill from the Necrophos there.
That Death Pulse, man. One of the running jokes of Dota of all time is like you cannot run the Death Pulse. It is funny, you know. There's some matches that happen when you're like maybe you get a death pulse and you just TP or just, I don't know, somehow return to base, and then you just see the little death pulse thing just following you everywhere endlessly, kind of like the chain thrust. And that's pretty much what happened. I mean, he dropped the death pulse, and even though the Weaver was invisible and behind a wall, behind a tower, Death Pulse doesn't care. In the meantime, bottom.
Yeah, careful. There's a swap on the Husker who uses his ultimate. He's trying to TP out, and maybe he will be lucky enough. He's got the poison from Venomancer. And oh, it wasn't like not enough damage there. It was lucky.
Because of that Berserker's Blood. Because Berserker's Blood gives you magic resistance the lower hit points you have. So you get to a point when, I mean, when you have this thing on level 4 and you have enough hit points that you pretty much magic damage doesn't do anything to you. The problem is that you're on really low hit points. It's gonna kill you pretty much. In the meantime, middle.
Yeah, it would explain a lot. Just a nice shot from Jackie trying to find the Ogre Mage, but just enough. And the guys are hungered for Necrophos. They know he's squishy, and he just TP'd bottom, and he got another kill. He's now unstoppable. Nick's behind the Vengeful Assassin trying to get that kill, but he's gonna find two guys there. Some from Vengeful Spirit. Meanwhile, the Weaver, ooh, that was pretty close. He uses his ultimate to get to prevent from death, but now he won't be lucky enough. Yeah, maybe he's gonna run away from it. Meanwhile, Vengeful Spirit against 4 guys being heavily burned by the Husker and the Jakiro there. And he has to
double damage Jakiro, man. That's
odd. I mean, that's
kind of surprisingly, tough to deal with. I mean, as damage, for the Vengeful Spirit, that's a lot of damage. Because consider that each time he right clicks you, at least each 4 seconds that he does it, it's not only the damage per se, it's just the damage on top of a liquid fire. So that's.
Oh, meanwhile, top lane going behind. Yeah, but not 3 guys. He pops his ultimate, and everyone's trying to run away from him, not to give him any more health. And he's gonna try to TP out, but that's a really crazy decision, having 3 stunners there. He had Ogre Mage, Vengeful Spirit, and Red King, so that's not gonna be.
He was optimistic.
Possible. Yeah, he was really optimistic. He was crossing fingers, but it wasn't just enough. So far, what do we have in the last hits and the grabs, Rupture?
Well, we have pretty much Lysale pretty much ahead, with a quick armlet, double ring, actually jumping into Aura and just right-clicking down pretty easy. However, he's on a really awkward spot. Yeah, he's just gonna drop. I mean, you're not tanky enough, son. But again, there's few things that you could do, honestly. So that actually was a pretty good trade for Menopauses. Let's see, 75 and 9 for the Huskar previously mentioned, 77 and 5 for Relic with the Necrophos, actually going for what seems to be a Necronomicon, and also on top of his 4 staff. Unusual pick, to say the least. Usually you don't see a Necro doing a Necro, double dipping on that, but yeah, it's still, in the meantime, there goes the Reaper's side just to get back, the Necrophos Dead Mana back, and there, bye-bye to the freaking Ogre Magi, 60 seconds on the silence, which it's quite a lot considering that he's just level 9, and we're on almost 14 minutes of the match, but that's Reaper's side for you. That extra bench time, you could say, is pretty good. In the meantime, Mashib sitting on the middle, getting a lot of damage taken into him. Quick stun, pops his ultimate, but he's pretty much knowing that after that ultimate, he's kind of dead. Unless that 2-man Impel trying to make some space for him and getting, well, at least he returns some damage. And now the Huskar going ham, and just gets the breaking a quickie. They're also good stun with the Spike Carapace on that Nexus, and just setting up the kills for the Husker. So, man, Fanosoyan, not bad with that.
And Rekin was level 8, and he didn't have the ultimate yet. That's why he died in the first. I think Husker knew that, because he went directly after him. Because you wouldn't normally go after a Raid King knowing that he has his ultimate. He was like, I don't care, I'll just jump on you and I'll just get you killed.
Oh my
And
god, they're already pushing tier 3s actually. Not that double damage relic there. This is real, man. And actually, they just noticed that Husker was pushing the other two lanes. That Reaper side clutch, just letting that Sadist region hit up, but it's just not enough for the burst damage. Still, losing a Necrophos for a tier 3 looks like a really good trade. Now the Husker is just gonna go ham on people. And Hora and just pretty much Locan just backing up because they just cannot stop this crazy man who just throws burning spears at people. He gets a quick stun, but again that magical resistance starts kicking in, but the stun is gonna end up his...
he got the raking before he died. That's dominating. Wow. Meanwhile, without any...
But they lost the racks too.
Yup, Liquid Fire doing a lot of damage there. Now Nyx hasn't been pursued by the Weaver and the Ogre Mage. Also, the Venomancer very close to him. Yes, and Ogre Mage gets the kill for 300 gold there. So it was a pretty bad... No, not that pretty. It was a very well strategically planned push, because they had Husker in middle doing a little of distraction. Then he got him on the bottom lane and he pushed all the way to the tower, almost to the fountain of the enemy team. Meanwhile, the Liquid Fire from the Yakiro, and I think there was also the Nyx getting the rack. So you know, maybe it's like they say, take one for the team, and that gave a lot of benefits for them.
Yeah, that's what we call usually while casting space created, because that's what that Husker did. He just distracted the enemy team for the rest of his teammates just to, pretty much the objective. And that's the thing with Husker. I mean, he demands attention. It's like a bad girlfriend. He demands attention. And, I mean, the other team has to give it to him. If you don't, pretty much you're gonna get killed by Burning Spear spam.
Yeah,
at least on this stage of the game. So, I mean, the Husker just doing what he does, and now they're gonna try to catch Relic on that jungle. He's gonna try to make as much space as there, but in the meantime, the Venomans are there in the back line. Locan dropping really low, and the Nyx just try to get the hang of him. Yules to the air, there comes on a ship, trying to make it safe. It doesn't work, but the Husker just going rampaging along all over the enemy lineup, just easy as that, and it's a 2 for 2, all things considered. I think Menopause stand up a little bit better on this, just because it's a Necrophos getting delayed. But he barely can say. It depends if they are able to defend the tower, pretty much.
Yeah, they were. There we saw very good intentions from the Nyx assassin, who just used Eul's scepter on himself to get enough time for his allies to arrive. But Abaddon unfortunately couldn't save him from death there. It was like 1 second away from it. But still, we could see in the middle. I think you kind of missed it, but I got it. Like the kill on the Venomancer was a jump from Husker, like 3 hits and no more. And as far as you can see, it's pretty logical, since Venomancer just has some arcane boots and no more. He's doing like the warding role, so it's like an easy target for him. So he gotta be careful.
Yeah, he's pretty much playing the 4 position. I would say 5, but if you look at the Vengeful Spirit, she even has less farm than he does. So yeah, he's like on the 4 position, arguably. Oh, look at that. Ogre Magic with an Aghanim's. I did not even notice that. But in the meantime, the guys of Wheels are just gonna take a quick Roche and just go on their business as well. And something that I do not like that Menopause are doing. Look at the Weird.
Just
19-minute Midas. Okay, 19-minute Midas is a good timing. Here's the problem: you're getting pretty much all your structures and all your map pretty much demolished at this stage, man. You lost your bottom racks already. You don't have any tier 2s. How on hell would you expect to have enough time to make that Midas pay off? I really wonder. I really want to know. I mean, you need some seriously good engagements on the side of Menopauses in order to, give you enough space to actually make it work. But in the meantime, here comes the siege.
Yeah, we may be witnessing a 5 against 5. There's an evil on the Weaver and a lot of damage on in Ice Spike to get him frozen, not to make him visible. There's a jump from the Husker on his easy target, the Bean Monster, but there's a multicast times 3. But there he goes again and gets the kill finally. There's an Ice Spike that gets
him attack, man.
Ogre Maggie, he's like a madman there. He's like on steroids or something. And we have the GG game, good game already from Menopauses in his first game between Wills and Menopause in the Battle of America there. And you had, ladies and gentlemen, it was a really quick time and formidable, extraordinary work, despite the fact that Menopauses had a lot of stun there. These guys from Wills managed very well. Props to that Abaddon in top, going solo as a support, and also a Necrophos. I was just astonished how the Necrophos could get the level 4 stun from Ogre and a level 2 stun from the Vengeful Spirit, and he lost barely 300 HP. I was like, what? How?
That's because that's a good question. That's because when he got stunned and all that, he dropped the Reaper Sight. So when he killed the Weaver, he starts getting the sadist, like you instantly get 10 stacks of sadist, so
Yes.
he regens all of that stuff.
Oh, okay.
So that's how it happens.
That
But yeah,
explains a lot.
that's a good point to notice. That's why Necrophos is so scary, because it's like, okay, you bring him down, and then he kills someone with the Ripper Sight or with the aura or with whatever, and he's like, oh, let me just regen 200 hit points per second. It's just insane, man.
That's just crazy, man. Anyways, stay tuned, everybody, in the hitbox.tv/DoomTV, because we're going for game number 2. So don't go away. We're gonna have a little bit of music and we'll be back.